Okay, welcome back. Now we're going to complete our polarity test now as per the details in job 2. Now, how to do this? We have to complete a polarity test and a continuity test. We're using a multimeter. Now we've got 3 different types of multimeter. I would like you to use one of the multimeters that has a little noise associated to it when we have a closed circuit. Now, we have 2 different types of tests, and I'd like you to detail the tests in this sort of format. So you can see there, the test for polarity, we're using a multimeter, using the noise for confirmation. Our tests will be the active to the active pin, which will get a noise, the neutral to the neutral pin, which should get a noise, and the earth to the earth pin, and we should get a noise. While we're doing each of those tests 1, 2, and 3, while you've got one of your wires of your multimeter on the active, test the neutral and earth pin, and there should be no noise. Test the function of the switch of the power point as well. In the off position, you should get no noise when you're going active to active, but when you turn the switch on, you should also become a closed circuit, and that proves the function of the switch. The same with the neutral to the neutral pin. Obviously that's not controlled by the switch, but you'll find that out when you're completing the test. Test the other 2 pins, and the same with the earth wire and the earth pin. Test the other 2 pins. Our second test is the test for continuity. We use a multimeter using the multimeter on the resistance scale. All measurements must be in ohms, that's the symbol for ohms. Our 6 tests are the active wire, which is one end of the multimeter, to the active pin, the active wire on the test on one end of the multimeter to the neutral pin of the power point, must test both power points, the active to the earth pin, the neutral to the earth pin, the neutral to the neutral pin, and the earth to the earth pin. The measurement should always be in ohms. They'll either be a very, very small resistance, or they'll be an infinite value. Either way, you can use the infinite symbol, like I said in the topic skills prac, but also write the word infinite. All measurements must be in ohms. You must use a symbol for ohms at the end of all those digital readings that you're going to be reproducing. Okay, as I've said in the previous test of topic skills practice, sometimes it's easier to use the inside of a 3-pin plug, so you can get to the terminations from the front of the actual power point, rather than trying to force your pins into the power point, which can do 2 things: damage the power point and damage your pins. So I'm just going to get one of those 3-pin plugs. Okay, I'm back. That took a bit longer than I should have done, but anyway, must not have been put back in the correct position. So, once again, we'll have our pad down here ready to do the terminations, ready to do the readings for our... So I'll go on the left-hand power point to start with. The multimeter will be on the bell test. So I've got my common pin in the common terminal, which is the black wire. I've got my other in the volts ohm resistance scale of my multimeter. And I take the meter right down to where the little sound symbol is there, and I get that ready to go. So I like to have the meter set up so I can actually hear the noise when I'm doing it. So in this situation, I'm making a noise, therefore I don't have to visualize the reading. I just have to prove that it actually makes a noise. So the first one, test, is the active to the active pin. Okay, try that, there's no noise, turn the switch on, and we hear the noise. While I'm there, I just confirm the other 2 pins are open circuit. now my next test is the neutral to the neutral pin, which is the black wire. Do the same again. I'll turn the switch off now. See that the switch has no control over that, so that's now reading a closed circuit, and therefore the noise. Test the other two wires. Test the switch on, other two wires, and it's open circuit. That's good. My third test is the earth. Turn the switch on, try the active pin, no. The neutral pin, no. Earth pin, and yes, we've got a termination. So it's all good. The switch on, it's still all good. Okay. Got to do the same for the other power point on the other side. So we pull the plug out, go to the other power point, do the same thing again. Okay, we go to the active wire, which is the red wire. We use a red wire of our multimeter, but it doesn't really matter what wire you use. But if you want to be overly correct, you can use the red wire on the red conductor. Prove the switch. Should be no termination or no continuous run of the wire with the switch turned off. It should be an open circuit, and we're testing the polarity. So is it in the correct position is what we're trying to find out. We turn it on. Yes, it is. It turns it off. It does. All good. We'll leave it in the on position. Take the other two pins. There's no joint there. There's no joint there. Nor should there be. Sorry. So that's fine. The neutral wire and the earth wire, that's fine, that's open circuit, and the active wire is open circuit also, which is good. We now prove the earth wire. Continuity shown by the noise that we're hearing. Confirm the earth and confirm the neutral again. Okay, we know that all that is correct, so we now have proven in both power points that our polarity is correct. So we're good about that. We're now moving on to the next test. The next test is the continuity test. Okay, and we've already partly proved that by doing the bell test or the noise test. But once again, we're doing this test because what are you learning and what is the purpose of doing this? What you're learning, confirming that you're learning this, one, that you know the right scale and multimeter to put it on. Two, you know how to use the multimeter correctly by using the two leads and correcting it and connecting it to the two correct wires and recording a measurement and writing down that measurement. And then being confirmed by your assessors that that is the correct measurement that you should be looking for and that you are actually getting. So this time I'm going to put the multimeter down here so I can read it down low. Okay, so you can probably just see that in your video. I'll just put it like that. You might get a better view of it then. Okay, so the first test according to is active to active pin. Okay, here we go. Active to active. The switch turned on. I'm getting a reading of 0. Switch turned off. I'm getting a reading, basically, it's close to infinite. It's 2.2 megaohms, which is quite a lot. And that's pretty close to what it should be. Okay, our second test is active to the neutral pin. Once again, that is open circuit, as it should be. OL means infinite, so that's fine. Our third test is active to the earth pin. That should be open circuit also. And it is. Okay, all good. We can now go to turn the switch off. We can now go to the other power point and confirm that and do the same thing again. And this time we'll do the other 3 tests with this power point. We go the active to the active pin. With the switch turned off, it should be nothing. It should be open circuit. It's infinite resistance. As you can see on the meter there, it's infinite resistance. Turn the switch on, and it goes down to 0. That means the circuit is closed, and the wire is continuous. It's what we're trying to find out. Our second test is active to the neutral pin. It's open circuit. Active to the earth pin, which is also very close to being open circuit. There might be a bit of moisture in the air, that's why the reading isn't reading infinite, but only that, nothing else. Okay, our fourth test is neutral to the earth pin. So our neutral wire, which is our black wire, one side of your multimeter is on there, and the other side goes to the earth pin, the power point. approve that, that's okay. That's open circuit, that's how it should be. We go then neutral to the neutral pin, and that should be down to 0 ohms or very close to that. And that's a dead closed circuit, which means the wire is continuous, which is what it should be, and that is correct. And our last test is the earth to the earth pin. And that should be 0 again. And that's basically all the tests for continuity. Okay, well done. Thank you.